everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it is just crazy here today. I'm trying to get videos up ahead of time. I have a writers conference this week, so I will not be available Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all this week. I will be home, I just will not be available to do too much in the craft room. So today is MemoryDex Monday, so I am taking this inspiration to do a Christmas MemoryDex, because remember, it's Christmas in July here in the studio all this month. So let's see what we're doing. I've pre-cut everything out with the exception of a bow, but I am using the stars from this collection from Stampin' Up! Called Stitch Stars dies, and any of these that are available I will link down below. Now I've cut the big one out twice in silver, and I've cut the two smaller ones out in silver and in gold glitters. So I have those, and anything that's available I will link in the description box below to my demonstrator store. Not me, but the person who I ordered through. If you have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you use, by all means, order through him or her. The other one I'm using is these two candy cane dies. One is a solid and one is slotted, from Sweetest Borders dies. Now this one very well may be retired. It was in a previous Christmas catalog, so this one may be retired. Also, while I'm here and talking about dies and Stampin' Up! Stampin' Up! Has 4 pages of clearance with some great dies in there. Also, they have a special going on. I think it may have ended. I'll have to check. But the potential is that for every $50 in product you order, you get a $5 gift card that you can use in a future month. And there's a time span of when you can do that. It's called the Bonus Days promotion. So if that is still available, I will make sure that you have the information for that as well. Okay, so we have our stars. And I have gold and silver in 2 sizes to scatter around the card. I'm picking up here. Okay, so we have those to play with. And then I have the 2 bigger stars. And then I have my candy canes in both solid white for background and in the candy cane, so that when you put them together, they show just like that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we've got that to do. Now, one thing I didn't think about, and I probably should have, but I could have cut these out with the Sizzix sticker paper, so that when I took them out, they had the sticky on the back of them. And that is a great product to use when you're doing detail cutting. And I don't have mine handy, or I'd show it to you. But I'll bring it up in a future video. So I'm going to be using my Xyron sticker maker. And I think I'm going to have to grab a new roll, so hold that thought. Thankfully, I am organized enough that I can walk right over here and should have been able to pick up a refill. There we go. I didn't think I was out. But I get the refills at Amazon, and they're about, Hobby Lobby, and they're about the same price everywhere. And so that I don't have to do this in the middle of the crate, I'm going to go ahead and pop this out and just get a hold of those little toes right there and pull that out. Open the package. Slip it out of the bag. And I'll set this one up here. And then make sure I'm right side up. And just pop it right back in there, just like that. And it's that easy. And then I'm going to pop these in. And I need to make sure, because I want them to go different directions. So I'm having to do the back and front of each one of these. And you can put anything up to the thickness of about a nickel through here. And that one overlapped, but that's okay. And I won't need the white ones. And I am going to do the stars, and I'm going to drop them in one at a time because I don't want them to overlap. And You pull just till you see the star disappear, and then you drop the next one in. And I'm going to run these through really quick. I need to make sure they go through really good. And just pull slow, and you don't get a lot of waste. You just don't get in a hurry. It is warm in my office. I have not turned the AC back on from yesterday when I was gone all day. And at one point the breaker went out apparently, and I have to climb up there and reset the breaker. And I've not been home to do that either. It's just Sunday afternoon. And I played around in Poplar Bluff yesterday. Spent way too much time, actually, enjoyable time, on the Spectrum Art Creation sale. And I got to hit a couple of the stores that I wanted to hit. But then I forgot that a couple of them were going to close. And so we had to go back into Poplar Bluff today for some things. And that's okay. And before I pull that, I have a green, and I think this was Cucumber Crush. And I'm going to cut a sliver here, just like that. So I can go in the bottom of this because I just want the bow from this punch. I don't want to waste a bunch of stuff here. So I just want the bow. Just like that, and you'll see what we're going to do with that bow here in just a minute. Okay, because that way now I can put the bow through here. Actually, I'm not going to put the bow through there. I'm going to put him on a dimensional. And then you want to make sure to burnish your adhesive really good, so I'm going to roll this over. And I'm just going to take my, I think I'll use my Tim Holtz tool. But you could use a credit card, your scissors, your, this thing, bone folder. And just burnish those into the sticker paper really good on both sides. And that will help eliminate a lot of the excess that people complain about in these things. Okay, so we have that ready to go. We have our bow, have our candy cane. The stars are going to need a little bit more, so I'm going to use the glue for those. And I'm going to hold these up so I can see what I'm doing, because I want to glue these stars back to back. Oh, and you know what? I probably should have reserved that, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Just kind of mash those up, squish those around, and square everything up, just like that. Okay. Okay, now I would like to sit down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Oh, I used Call Me Clover, not Cucumber Crush. So, and I will have to put that away in a minute. Get my notebook out of the way. Okay, so I have this lighter green for a background, and I'm going to line this up so that I get my, and see, we've got the marks on here. So I can line this up, and I want to get my holes in before I do anything else, because I want to make sure that I don't wind up putting something where I would punch, okay? And then where did our picture go? Here it is. So I'm starting up here, and I don't have all of this and the streamers, but I am using this part, and that's where I'm crisscrossing the candy canes. So I'm going to come down here, take my sticky scissors, and cut my candy canes off of here, just like that. And you just peel the cellophane off the top and dispose of it. You will have some sticky residue on there where the glue came through the holes. And I put these on backwards. I knew I would. Well, maybe not. Nope, I did good. I did good. And then I'm going to come in here and line this up as best I can. I should do this with my cheaters on. It'd probably be easier and faster. Just like that. Okay, now we're going to come back and we're going to worry about that sticky part here in a minute. And take this and run this one over. Now, one of the candy canes is going to be in reverse. So you'll see the back part of the punch out, not the front. But once you get everything else on here, I don't think it's really going to matter. Now, I'm going to take this that the candy canes come off of, and I'm going to use that to press down really good. And then I'm going to come back. And if you have the Static Buddy, you could use this, or you can use baby powder. But all you want to do is go over this, and what that does is it puts the powder on any glue that shows through the holes, and then your candy cane's not sticky anymore, just like that. Okay, so we have those two. Now I want to put them up here on the top, and I want to cross them just like that. So I'm going to use my glue. Now you will get a little bit of powder residue in there, and that's okay, because we're going to fix that too. But I'm coming in with my glue on the back of my candy cane, and I probably shouldn't have gone all the way to the top, because, you know, I'm a bozo. I do things like that without thinking. That's okay. We're going to go just like that. Okay, and I'm going to come back over here with my wet towel and dab that glue off. Whoops. A little too exuberant. And then I'm going to come back in here with my bow, and I don't think I want a tiny dimensional. I think I want to just use a spot of glue. I can guarantee that's going to hold really well. So I'm going to put a spot of glue on there. And I'm going to kind of bend that up a little bit and give it some dimension. And put that bow right there. Now we're going to come back and play with that glue, or with that bow some more. So don't get too bent out of shape there. We'll be back. Now the other thing is I wanted to position this big star over here, but I don't want to put it down just yet. We need to stamp a sentiment, and I had a sentiment. There it is. I had one out here. I'm going to use this Merry Christmas. This is from Merry Mistletoe, and it is an older stamp set from Stampin' Up. But I think, actually, I like Christmas wishes on there. This seems a little big. So let's do this one. And I'm going to use one of my generic Stampin' blocks to put that on. Here's one of my generics here. It's going to hold just fine. And I'll have to come back and decorate those later. But I do want to do, what do we want to color do we want to put this in? Let's see if we can. Let's emboss it. Let's emboss it. So I'm going to come back in with a piece of white cardstock. And I'm going to use this piece here. And I think I've got a piece big enough here that I can use to stamp on. And I'll need my Versamark. Pimento Cocoa, white. I have stuff over here that shouldn't be. Here it is. Here's my Versamark. And let's do it in gold as well. So I'm going to stamp this with the Versamark. And remember, ink pad to stamp, not the other way around, because that way you don't get the ink all around your edges quite so bad. Okay? Huff on a little bit. And then we're going to do that. And then I'm going to come back with my gold glitter. Oh, I got to put my containers upside down so I can see what my colors are. I know I have a gold over here. There we go. And now that Versamark's down there, now you've got a little bit of playtime. And I'm going to sprinkle the VersaFine embossing powder on there. Tap that off, and it didn't quite. There we go. That's better. Now before I do anything else, and I should have, I'm going to be doing stamping again, I think Thursday, and I will show you a couple of tricks that's really good for those of us who have tremors to deal with. Okay, find the end of my cord so I can plug in my heat gun. And then we're just gonna this, and we're gonna watch it change. And that's all there is to it. Just like that. Okay. Now the thing is how big do we want to make that space? And I think I have the perfect shaped punch here to use. One of my favorite shape punches. And that is this Taylor tag. It's a retired one from Stampin' Up. I can get it open. And that's going to just fit. I need to trim this off just a hair so I can get in there. So I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. And then I'm only going to take about 1/4 of an inch off of there. I just want to be able to get my punch in there square, just like that. That's better. Okay. So we have that. So then we have this, and we're going to have this. And then we're going to have our gold star, or our silver star, big one, up here at the top. And I do want to bring that up on dimensionals. So that I want to leave there, but it needs to come off of there a little bit. What do we need to... Oh, you know what? Here's a trick. Unless you're actually wanting a vintage distress, use a green. I use the color of your background as close as you can. So I don't know if I have that green, but this one will work. This is Green Gable. And this will, it actually does a dual purpose. It lets your matte blend into your background as well as pop from the background. Kind of hard to believe that it actually would do both. Now, because I don't know where this is going to go, I'm going to position this up here at the top of the tab. And then I know I can come down here and put it on the legs of the star, just like that. Now, sometimes dimensionals do not stick well to glitter, so you might need to come back and redo this. But for now, I'm just going to do it this way and make sure it at least glues to the glitter, like that. Okay, now we have those. And now I want to bring this one up, I think. And I have my little non-stick scissors here, and I'm going to measure that. My Teflon scissors. And go right in the middle of that. Pop that off. Trying not to make a huge mess. Now, here's where the fun comes in. Let me put my green ink away. I only have so much room on this filming table. And get this cutter out of my way, because I would like to sit down, because we are just about there. Now we get to come back with our embellishments, our stars, and just place them around in whatever looks good to you. Peel that off. Back here. We probably want to put a gold one up here, maybe by the silver star, and maybe another little one in the area somewhere. Okay, and we can put one of the larger silver ones down here. And maybe on that mat, place a silver star, just like that. And I just cut a bunch. I didn't count. I just cut a bunch out, just like that. And I think we need maybe a silver over here. And we need a gold one over here. Well, I'll bet you're wondering what we're doing with that bow, huh? Hold that thought. I have not forgotten about the bow. And I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, now I'm going to come back with this and I'm going to press that down and get those stuck down there good. That one had a sticker underneath of it from where I punched it out of the hole. See if I can get that out of there. Whoops, not so well. Okay, let's pull this one up. He's a deformed star now, so let's pull him up. Put him there. We have one more silver one here we can use that has all of his components. And try and match him up with where that other one was as best we can. There we go. Okay, now, that one, I need to get up here to my bling box. Oops, sorry about that. And I don't want fruities or butterflies. I want actual red and green bling. And I'm pretty sure I've got some Christmas in here somewhere. And then we're going to be finishing this up. I will be back tomorrow for Tag Tuesday for sure. And I should be able to get Thursday's video up. So check out the, those don't go over here. Check out the community tab on Wednesday to see which supplies you're going to want to have on hand. Let's see. Here's the holiday rhinestones. We'll use those because they're quick and easy to get to. These are retired bling from Stampin' Up. But I'm going to put a little dab of glue in the center of that bow right there. And come back with a big red rhinestone right in the center. Like that. And we could come back with some smaller bling just so those stars stand out. Like that. And really bling this up and add a little bit of color. A little bit of shine because, you know, it's Christmas. So let's bling it up a little bit. The only thing I'm pretty sure I'm not doing is there will not be a premiere video on Friday. There will be a video. I just will not be available for a premiere because I will be in workshops for the Writers Conference. Now I'm using kind of a bluish rhinestone on the silver ones rather than digging out a second package. We'll just do that. Oops. And then let's put one right. I don't like one in the center of that one. So there is our MemoryDex card. Let's bring our inspiration in. Now there's no fibers on here, but I think otherwise we've hit all the other components. We've got a larger item, we've got a sentiment, we have our stars, and we have this, and I think that's going to do it. So thanks for joining me in the studio today. I will see you back here tomorrow for Tag Tuesday. If you want to play along tomorrow, you're going to need gesso, a tag covered in book page, and your magicals or Pearl-Ex powders, because we're going to play and have some fun. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and creative Christmas blessings.